I never know how to start these. First, I wanted to say thank you to the people that are still subscribed from my previous attempt at my YouTube channel. Long story short, a lot has happened in the past few months. My videos weren't very consistent then, but after this video, I think it'll make a lot of sense why there's been a lot of challenges, I guess, in doing so. But I decided I was going to do 2 videos today. Well, I'm going to record 2 videos today. I'm probably not going to post them both today, but the first one, why I hid my pregnancy for so long, and how I did that, as well as a little bit of Q&A, because I did post on my Instagram if anybody did have any questions about, you know, the stuff going on. So since I've already addressed it, I'm just gonna start. I'm pregnant. I am actually 25 weeks today, I believe. Yeah, 25 weeks. So I am like, a couple weeks from my 3rd trimester. And just to put it in perspective, if you don't know me personally, I didn't announce this. I did tell, like, you know, close family and friends. That was kind of, basically, the way that I did it, which everyone's different, you know, some people are so excited and they want to, like, put it on Facebook that day. Well, I'm not really like that. I'm not a super open person usually, so this type of thing is kind of hard for me sometimes, so it's easier for me to do it at my own pace, I guess. So I kind of told everybody at different times, and then literally like 2 weeks ago I announced it to like Facebook, like all my internet social friends. But you're gonna notice, like, I get out of breath super quickly, so throughout this video, if it sounds like I'm rambling or I'm out of breath, just bear with me. I guess everybody's big question to me was why. And I guess I didn't really have so much of a why then, as just to, like, I wasn't ready. Like, I wasn't ready to, you know, I wasn't ready to tell everyone. I wasn't ready for that to be, like, public information. Even something as big and exciting as this, at the time, I guess the best way to put it is I wasn't ready to have that conversation with so many people. Because, if you've had a baby, especially if you're a young mom, like, you know, it's a big conversation. And so many things were on my mind for the first couple months. I was like, the last thing I want to do is, like, talk about it with other people. Like, I'm talking about it with my boyfriend. We're, you know, trying to figure out the best way to do everything, and, you know, just getting everything down to, like, a T, organized. And that was gonna be a lot harder if I was getting opinions and input from, like, everybody that I know at the same time. So I was a little bit concerned about any negative opinions, but it was more so, which I'm gonna talk a little bit about the beginning of my pregnancy, but it was more so because I was extremely hormonal, and I didn't know how I would handle any negative opinions at that time. Like, I am already a person who can kind of hold a grudge as it is, and I was like, if somebody tries to even, you know, put me down for this, like, I don't know if I'll talk to you again. So I basically was very fragile, I'm already very opinionated, but it was like, now it's just like multiplied by 10 because of all these things happening to my body. And that's basically my why. Like, I wasn't ready. I was sharing it, you know, sharing the whole energy and experience with my close personal relationships, especially my boyfriend. Like, but it did, honestly, like, if you are one of those people researching videos, like, how can I hide my pregnancy? Like, is it a bad idea? Is everyone gonna hate me? Like, I don't think it made a difference. The main takeaway should be, like, it's your decision, it's your body, like, it's happening to you, and whatever you decide, like, whenever you're ready to disclose that information and let it be everybody else's thing, like, that's up to you. Like, keep it your thing as long as you want to. So Now the how is a little bit, I mean, it's different depending on everyone's situation. Like if you're a young mom and you're living at home with your parents, it's gonna be a little bit harder. So at the time I was living with my grandma, actually, because I had moved states away. So mind you, this woman, like, you know, she did a good part in raising me. So it wasn't just like, it's not just like a grandma relationship. Like she's like another mom to me. So it was really hard to keep it from her. I was like, this is gonna be a lot for her. And so I was like, we're gonna wait, you know, we're gonna get some things in order first. Mainly wanted to get in our own place first. So once I started showing, which was like pretty early on, if you ask me, which I'm kind of a small person, it's just started popping. So I was like, this isn't gonna last much longer, because I want to say it was around, let's see, so like between my 3rd and 4th month is when I started showing. And not only that, but I was having all this morning sickness, and my eating habits just changed drastically. I mean, I used to be able to like eat these big meals and, you know, I'm fine, but like once you're pregnant, it doesn't work that way. So it was like I would eat a small breakfast and I'm like stuffed. You know, you think like, oh, you're pregnant, you just eat all day long. Well, I mean, everybody's different, but usually in the first trimester, it's not like that. Usually it's a little bit harder. Things don't sound as appetizing, and you definitely can't eat as much for some whatever reason. I just, you know, and they do tell you like split, instead of 3 big meals, like do like 5 or 6 small meals. So another is first trimester fatigue. I mean, I was so tired, I can't even explain it. Like I just did so much laying around my first trimester that my grandma's like, you're sick, like something's wrong. And I'm like, I think something is wrong. And eventually I ended up going to the doctor and finding out why, but she didn't know that yet. So I was just, you know, I'm like, I'm so tired today. Like, and at the time I was cleaning. So I love to clean. I clean houses. I clean for, you know, work, places, whatever. And I was just not being as productive. Like I couldn't do as much. I would get exhausted so much easier. I was getting out of breath, and I just blamed it all on that. I'm like, yeah, these, you know, cleaning, I was doing a couple places a week, but not like to be that exhausted. And I was like, I must just be doing too much, you know. And then I'd lay in bed all day, and she's like, you're not doing that much. So eventually, like, I was like, okay, we're gonna have to figure out a way to just drop it, because it was getting to be a lot. But I stuck it out a couple more weeks, and then the nausea, which I mentioned, had set in, and that was even harder. So these are all things to consider when you're like trying to, you know, hide this from someone. Like, is it really worth it? Because looking back now, I'm like, I should have just told her, but it's fine. She knows now. It's not a big deal anyway, but like it would have made my life a lot easier, I feel like, because it was to the point where I would like, because morning sickness, if you don't know, it's not in the morning, not just in the morning. Every once in a while it was in the morning. When I say morning, it's like noon sickness, or like 5-6 o'clock p.m. sickness. So for me, at least, everyone's different again, especially, you know, early pregnancy. Like everybody has a different experience, but I would like run outside and get sick. Yeah, that was definitely another big indicator that I thought she would have caught on to. Right now I'm 25 weeks, and I can kind of summarize that whole time, which like that was a big summary of the first trimester. And then my next one I'll kind of update, like probably 25 to like, you know, whatever. I did try to keep track. This is a really good idea if you are on your first pregnancy, and you don't know like what to expect. I tried to keep track. Within the first trimester, I had a lot of like a little bit of cramping, headaches, I forgot about that, a little bit of back pain, nothing crazy. But other than that, I was just like super groggy. nauseous. I was still able to eat most of the time, not very much. Getting sick, mention that. Oh, so around like 8 weeks, that's when no food started to sound good, like nothing at all. It turned to like all breakfast food. So like my diet now even is just like bland foods, like pancakes, French toast, waffles. I mean, as plain as it can possibly get. Breads, I mean, but that's when it started, like 6 to 8 weeks. I just didn't want anything but pancakes. Starving at night, that started at like 12 weeks. Like that's when I was really catching on to like, you seriously have to eat the 5 small meals a day, like, or you have to have a snack before bed, because you're just gonna wake up at like 5 in the morning starving to death. Like, you need to eat something. So it literally, right here I wrote no weight gain yet. Now that was almost 3 months in, and then I went to the doctor for my, I forget what appointment it was, but like right around 4 months, I guess. And I had gained like 15 pounds. When I say I popped, I mean, I seriously, like, it all just happened at once. And then my 6-week appointment after that, 6 weeks in the beginning or something, another 15 pounds. It's like, so I've already gained, like, they say you should gain 15 to 30 pounds, and I've already gained 30. So overall, very healthy. I don't eat meat, so I don't eat a ton of fast food. I mean, I try to balance it out. Like, lately things have been sounding better, so lately I've wanted more chocolate and stuff like that, but sweets, cakes. But I try to like make a smoothie and fill it with fruits and vegetables, or make a super healthy breakfast if I know I'm gonna eat not so healthy for lunch. But you definitely want to avoid like greasy foods as much as you can. I feel like that's the main thing. So that is my quick summary of the first the first half of my pregnancy, we'll put it that way. For the remainder of this video is these few questions that I got in the Q&A. Basically, I'm gonna start with the ones that have to do with my pregnancy, because we just ended on that. So I'll start with this one. Someone said, when's the baby dad? Pop in the question. So that's funny. If you know me personally, you know why it's funny. Let's just say I'm not in a rush to get married. Like, it's not something we haven't talked about. So we are just kind of, we're prepared people. We'd rather everything be perfect and go smoothly than like rush into it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Will I be breastfeeding, and when am I due? So I completely forgot to mention my due date. So I will say that, because I mean, subject to change, but as of right now, I am due on July 4th. The 4th of freaking July. So super exciting for me. I love that, and I wish that it would actually happen on that day. But let me just say, my due date before was July 7th, and it had went up. Like, I was a little further along than they had thought. So I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but we'll see. Hopefully, that'd be fun. Will I breastfeed? Yes, ideally I would love that. I mean, if you've had kids, if you know about it, whatever, you know that it's not necessarily up to you. Some babies just have no desire to do it. I'm hoping that I get lucky and everything goes well, because yes, I want that more than anything. There's just so many benefits for mom and baby. I mean, if you seriously look into it, like, there's just, it was like a no-brainer for me personally. Everyone, you know, no mom's way is wrong, but me personally, like, I really would like to. I see that there's a lot more benefits in it than not, so I don't see what the harm is in trying, rather than just jumping straight to formula. If I have to use formula, you know, it is what it is, but ideally, yes, I would like to breastfeed. Where do I see myself in 5 years? That is a huge question. Within 5 years, so what? 2026, I will never work for anyone again. By then. If in 5 years I'm still employed by somebody else, there's been a problem. That's all I'm gonna say. Next, what got you into resin? I'm gonna say that the thing that got me into it was quarantine and my boyfriend, because really, I think I just got it one day. We were like, we were at Joann Fabrics, I think, and we were like, let's make something. I needed something to do. My boyfriend actually bought me my first set of supplies, however you want to word it, and he was like, you can do this. He's like, you're gonna be good at this stuff. So I'm still making. I will never stop making. The idea is just to start making bigger. She said, you're peaceful on Instagram. What do you do to save energy and create peace in your life? I've had a very chaotic life, to say the least. And I am very big on now manifesting the things that I want. Sometimes it's very hard, but I feel putting that into, putting it into social media or putting it into other people, giving that advice to people, gives me no choice but to take the advice myself. So if I'm like posting these motivational things and whatever I'm saying online or specifically on Instagram, it's not just like, oh, this is a nice quote, let me post. It's like things that I need to hear too. Because like I feel like I'm constantly going through something different, some new interesting thing I have to get over, and it's sometimes I need some motivational words. So I think a big thing that I do to save the energy in myself and try to create that peace is to do everything I can. If that's reading a bunch of motivational quotes and spiritual things, and sometimes that's all it is, or if it's going and making crafts, or if I need to like just stretch, or if I just need to like lay down for 3 hours and not say anything at all. I'm becoming very accustomed to listening to my body. I'm trying very hard to just do what feels right, basically. One milestone you would like to accomplish by the end of the year? Because like I said, I don't want to give everything away until it's done. So one milestone I would like to accomplish by the end of the year: quit my job. Right now I work from home, which is super convenient and honestly doesn't even feel like a job sometimes. But I would like to be able to quit that job by the end of the year. And with the things in the works, I see that very possible. How has moving away from, first someone said, where did you move? I moved to South Carolina. So I'm currently living in South Carolina, and I moved from Ohio. That's a big move. But if you know anything about me, you knew that I wasn't gonna stay in Ohio, and I hate the cold. I'm gonna say that like 75% of the reason we moved down here was for better weather, and we got it. And the question asked, how has moving away from a small town changed your life? Because in Ohio, I was in a very small town, and I'm gonna say it's changed my life immensely. Not just because like I'm having a baby and like doing adult things, but if you're somebody who lives in a small town, you know that there's not as many opportunities for you there as there is in, like, just to give an example, Los Angeles, California. I mean, living in LA and living in your small hometown in wherever, like, it's just a whole different ball game. And it really just depends what you as a person want, because not everybody's the same, and not everybody wants to be in a big city or whatever, but me personally and my boyfriend, we go where opportunity takes us. I'm okay with the distance. I'm okay with moving away from my loved ones, because I know that that's what it takes for me to have the life that I want. If you're somebody who like wants to be able to drive to your mom's every day, like, I wouldn't suggest moving. Everybody wants different things, but I'd suggest it if you need a change. This is the last one. This is a good one to end on. What made me leave EWC, European Wax Center? I say the main reason, I left EWC because I felt I deserved more money. Now, I worked at multiple centers. I worked at another one once I came down here to South Carolina. That one was a whole different experience. I'm going to say it was much better. But living somewhere else prior, you really have to prove yourself to be compensated the way that you want. And after quarantine, I just was going back, and I had found a whole new worth for myself that I had been looking for so long. So when I was given an offer that I didn't like, I turned it down. I don't regret it a single bit either, because there was a lot of circumstances going into it, but I just feel like companies, any really in general, don't invest in the right employees. They don't take the time to learn who they should invest in. Hope I didn't say too much. I don't think I did. But yeah, I loved the atmosphere though, and I love you all. Who asked that question, and I miss you guys so much. But I'm going to wrap this video up. So thank you if you watched this whole video. I know it was very long. I ramble, and it's hard for me to keep up with my breath these days. So that's it. If you have anything you actually want to hear me talk about, drop it in the comments. I have a lot going on, but like I said, I really ideally would like to stick to doing this. So I need things to talk about. I need to know what people want to hear from me. So drop it in the comments. If you're not subscribed to me, please do it. I will appreciate it so much. And turn your post notifications. I'm not too into the YouTube game, but turn on post notifications if you care to see when I post again. Because that new video will be coming soon with the gender reveal and my update, my 25-week update. So, thank you. Goodbye.